Hey guys, this is DP0427 of the Oddsman, and today I'm bringing you something a little bit different. Other than DC or DCL related content, as you know, most of the Oddsmen play Magic, and it's a big part of our lives. So I decided to bring some of that to you guys too, using our channel as an outlet. So I'm going to be doing some Magic Online Legacy Cube action for you guys. It's a little bit of a downtime between seasons, just before the release of Guilds of Ravnica. So if you guys like the content that I put out with this video, let me know, and I'll try and get out another video for the Guilds of Ravnica pre-release, as I plan on playing on that on Magic Online, and maybe also a Magic Online Championship series in the future. But it looks like our cube is underway, so let's see what we got. So let's just change the window size so it's easier for everyone to see. Let's do that. So let's see. Down there we got an overgrown battlement. Right off the bat, what I like to look at are big powerful cards, big splashy cards, and also a mono red or aggressive strategy. I tend to stay away from control strategies as I find them boring, and that's not what Cube is about. I like to have fun and do big things. So first thing that stands out to me is Mere Battlesphere, as it's an artifact and it's colorless. I can go in pretty much any other strategy. Then Firebolt is a decent card, but it's not good enough to go into mono red at the moment. So for the time being, I think Mere Battlesphere is one of the best cards to keep me open. There's decent removal here and there, decent aggressive cards. Tatyova is a good green ramp spell, a card to ramp into to sort of get the gases going for that type of deck. But there's a lot of things that you can do in those colors, so Mere Battlesphere is probably one of the best cards with the biggest effect that keeps me the most open, so let's go with that. So let's see, what comes up next? So now here we see all the red cards. So Koth of the Hammer is one of those cards that I like to take to go into red, to go into mono red especially. The biggest thing for me is the fact that there isn't anything else that really wants me to stay like heavily mono red in this pack, like a Lightning Bolt or Goblin Guide or anything like that. So something like Koth of the Hammer might be something to get on the wheel if we do pick up a couple of other aggressive red cards. But for the time being, to go with our Mere Battlesphere, a ramp strategy with either Elves of Deep Shadow or Rampant Growth is fine. Or maybe a blue artifact strategy, so Search for Escanta or Careful Considerations or something to look at there. I personally like the green rant strategies, especially in Legacy Cube, since it's a little bit underpowered when you compare it to the Vintage Cube, obviously. So between Rampant Growth and Elves of Deep Shadow, I like Elves of Deep Shadow as it's a creature. It comes down earlier, and it also helps you splash black continuously if you need to. So I'm just going to take that. And here we see a couple of red cards, none of them really aggressive, so I think the mono red plan is out the door at this point. Jackal-Pups is a good aggressive creature, but nothing that I want to take up early. Dominate or Johnny Vengeance are good cards, but nothing that I want to splash two colors for at this point. So let's try to stick to this green ramp spell, or this green ramp plan. So Nissa Worldwaker is a great card for the ramp plan, and pretty much that's it. Sky Ship, the Sovereign Sky Ship is not bad. I'm not a big fan of it, especially in this cube, because if you're looking to equip or crew vehicles, I feel that you're probably a bit behind in terms of an aggressive strategy. It's probably better things you can do, and it's not that good against non-aggressive strategies. So I'm going to go with the Nissa Worldwaker, stick to our guns, and go with the ramp strategy. So let's see here. To go with our ramp plan, Rattleclaw Mystic is pretty good. It fixes for a few colors, so I like that. 2 mana ramp spell with a decent body, and you can get more mana out of it if you Megamorph it. Otherwise, Blooming Marsh is something to consider as it helps splash for colors, but there's nothing really big or splashy that I really want to play here. Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker is good, but there's too many colors in it, and it's too early to say what colors we're going to be in. I like to go green blue, but I don't think Dismiss is something to go blue for right at the moment. there's no good black or red cards that really stand out for me. They're just reasonable removal spells, and the white cards don't appeal to me at all. So let's just take the Rattleclaw Mystic and move on. In this pack, pretty much nothing that exciting. We have a choice to either pick up a big finisher or utility card like Acidic Slime or Woodfall Primus. Actually, they're both effectively the same type of card, so we might get one of them back on the wheel. Otherwise, there's Botanical Sanctum, Stomping Ground, Verdant Catacombs, all good options, all good colors to splash for. But I like going into blue, especially if green doesn't have that much card advantage, and just getting more mana and getting more big splashy threats to play in a ramp deck is important. So having card draw to get it is probably more important than fixing at this point. And we might just end up being two colors, not really needing that much fixing. So I don't mind passing up, especially on the only dual here is Stomping Ground. So yeah, taking Compulsive Research is fine here. So here we have another option again. We have more splashable dual lands, and we have Wolfear Silverheart, which is a good finisher, good top end curve at 5. Brainstorm is just more card selections, pretty good when you have a fetch. I prefer to pick up Brainstorm after I have a fetch, but since I don't have one right now, I can consider taking one. I can also consider taking Field of Ruin, as it's a good utility land that will help you splash. So at the moment, I think this is a decent place to pick up a land. I don't really like Wolfear Silverheart as much right now, and you can probably find reasonable things to replace it with later on. So I think picking up a fetch land is slightly better than a fast land, and the Field of Ruin is decent, but I want almost all my lands in this deck to produce green on turn 1 to be able to play Mana Dorks as early as possible. That being said, now I have a tough choice between Terrastodon, which is a really great finisher at the top end, something really good to ramp into. Breeding Pool, which is just a good overall land for our colors. And also Shelldock Isle, as it's a really good utility land for this type of deck, as you end up having a lot of giant things, and getting down to 20 cards is very easy to do, especially in a limited cube environment. It's tough. I think the pick here is between Breeding Pool and Shelldock Isle. I'm going to go with Shelldock Isle. It might be wrong, because the Breeding Pool might never come back. We might never see another green-blue fetch to go with our Windswept Heath, but I think it's too hard to pass up on the Shelldock Isle. It's just too much value. So here we don't have too much for us. Rampaging Bailiff is a good finisher. Reflecting Pool is okay, but it's better in a 4 to 5 color strategy, and we're only 2 at the moment. So I think taking another finisher is fine here. All the other cards sort of don't really appeal to me, and Ajani is not really worth splashing white for at this point. But we don't really know if we're blue either, so we could easily be green-white, but I'd rather stick to Compulsive Research than try Ajani Unyielding. So I'm going to take the Bailoff and stick to green, at least for the moment. So here we have a pick between Whisperwood Elemental. It's sort of like the same type of creature that filled the 5-drop slot for the Wolfear Silverheart. Not really that excited. Again, we could find more things to replace it with, but Overgrown Battlement is a creature that ramps. It's much more important for us to pick up those earlier on to then threats to ramp into. And now, no, it looks like nobody's in red, so all the good red cards are coming back. But I don't think we're in red either. But the fact that Careful Consideration came back around is a good sign that green-blue is open for us. So let's take that and keep shipping the red cards. And just as I said before, we're shipping the red cards. We'll continue to ship the red cards. I'll take Maze of Ith here, but I probably won't play it. It's much better in a control deck than this style of deck, so I'll just put it in the sideboard for now. Stick that over here. I'll take black fast land just in case I need to splash that. Oh, Acidic Slime came back around. That's a really good sign for us. It's a very good card at 5. And there you see the Wolfear Silverheart. No one's in green, it seems, so that came back around too. Beast Within, good last pick card. Good utility card for this type of deck. So far so good. I'd like to see something blue, maybe, to solidify us in blue. Maybe something like, I don't know, a big Sphinx, Factor Fiction, nice draw spells. Solemn Guard, oh, Upheaval. Yeah, I think Upheaval is the pick here. Yeah, my eyes were just really quickly drawn to Upheaval. Otherwise, in this pack, let's see, we have a Duress down here. Mana Confluence is a decent land because it's like a City of Brass, and it's a better City of Brass actually. Reclamation Sage is a good utility card, will probably come back around. I might considering splashing Solemn Guard, but I'm not going to take it early, considering I don't have fixing for it yet. So I think the pick for me is clearly Upheaval, especially when you have a lot of mana in your deck. It's a really, really great way to reset the game and get ahead. So let's take that. Here, ooh, now this is a tough pick. I actually really like Dry Greenseeker, playing with this in the M19 environment. This is what they call the Mythic Uncommon. You pretty much can't lose the game if you get this in turn and activate it turn after turn after turn. So, but that being said, I am mostly a green deck, and that being said, Rofellos is probably the best card you can have for a mostly mono green deck. So, yeah, I think there's no debate about that. I would like to see Dry Greenseeker come back around, and or possibly even Mana War. I wouldn't mind a Disallow either, but yeah. But all things considered, with the signs that the way this draft is going, I don't think many people are in green or in blue, so there's a good chance that those come back around. Here we have a pick between Nissa Voice of Zendikar or Llanowar Elves, or even Trigon Predator, but I'm pretty sure Trigon Predator will table because it's a gold card, and it's pretty clear that no one other than us is in those colors at this table. I'd be surprised if it was taken. Otherwise, we might even wheel a Censor into the Royal, but I think Llanowar Elves is more important than Nissa at this juncture, because again, we need more ramp spells to solidify our late game plays. So let's see here, what else have we got? Managorger Hydra is actually a decent card if you could ramp into it on turn 2, because it gets out of hand really, really quickly. Lutheril Core is a good way to filter, but it's probably better in a combo style deck or a reanimator style deck than this type of deck. Regrowth we might get back on the wheel. Forbade is an okay card, but double blue is a bit hard to cast. Walking Bliss is just a decent card overall, and considering we're going to have a lot of mana, I think that might be a decent pickup for us here, because it's pretty good at any stage of the game, and for a green blue deck, it's one of the only ways you have to interact with actual permanents. So that being said, yeah, I would expect either Regrowth or Managorger Hydra to wheel, so I'll be happy with any of those. So I'll take the Walking Ballista here and see what we get. Then we have a choice between Farseek, let's see, Dragonlord's Dramoka, which is fine, and Jade Light Ranger, which is okay too. Let's see here, we're on pack 2, we have about 10 creatures. I wouldn't mind taking the Jade Light Ranger, but I still feel I need a little bit more ramp so that I can pick up big giant creatures later in this pack and in pack 3. So I'm going to take the Farseek as one more ramp spell. The good thing to note that you can't get forests with your Farseek, so it is important to note that in this deck you can pretty much only get islands for the time being. If you get a dual line that is also green, you can get forests with that too. So I'm going to take Farseek for now, and maybe Jade Light comes back around. So in this pack, we have again a pick between a big finisher in Dragonlord Atarka instead of Dramoka this time. Also good card, but it requires splashing into red instead of white. And I don't mind Whirler Rogue, which is just a good value creature, but I don't think we need value creatures at this juncture. I'd rather have a ramp spell like Arbor Elf or Kodama's Reach, but again, if I'm picking between a spell or a creature to ramp, I'd rather pick the creature, especially if there's an option of opening something like Craterhoof Behemoth for green. And speaking of big green splashy spells like Craterhoof Behemoth, a great way to get Craterhoof Behemoth or anything else like Progenitus, for example, is Natural Order, and I think it's clearly the pick over something like Thragtusk. However, Glare of Subdual is actually quite an interesting card. It is like it's like Opposition, but slightly worse. But it's easier to play if you're not in blue. So I'm going to be taking Natural Order though, but I would be interested in either Thragtusk or Glare of Subdual coming back around. So Gift Ungiven is actually pretty interesting too. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. So, ooh, perfect. So we get a Tropical Island. I will snap pick that as I had to give up my Breeding Pool pick earlier. But the other pick here, the other option here is Explore, and Explore is a pseudo ramp spell, but it's not a guaranteed ramp spell. So it actually makes this pick quite easy. If this pick was a Rampant Growth, for example, or something like a Rampant Growth, like a Sakura Tri-Belter, it might be a little bit harder for me. But all things considered, I think it's easy Tropical Island here. And it looks like the Reclamation Stage came back around, and I don't mind having that plus an Acidic Slime main deck to deal with problematic things, especially in Legacy Cubes. There are a number of enchantments and artifacts you do want to blow up, so I don't mind taking that here. So here we have nothing really for us. We have a sword that we could put in the sideboard for certain matchups. I don't mind taking a Spire Bluff Canal here to help splash for red potentially. So as I have the Blooming Marsh in the sideboard too, so I have an open door to splash red or black at this point. So looks like I have my pick between Trigon Predator and Into the Royal here, or even Electrolyze if I want to splash it. I think Into the Royal is a decent way to deal with problematic things. Trigon Predator is another way to deal with artifacts and enchantments, but considering I have Reclamation Stage and Acidic Slime already, I don't think I need it, so I'll take the Royal just in case I need that more. And luckily for us, we got the Mana Gorger Hydra back, and it's a decent play considering we have 3 turn 1 elves at the moment, so I'll take that. Jade Light Ranger came back around. Alright, so pretty sure we're the only players in green at the moment. We might even consider cutting blue altogether if we don't have anything big and blue to play. Although I do really like playing Upheaval with this many ramp spells in the deck, so depending on how easy it is to play the blue with the fixing in our deck, I guess we'll see, right? So at the moment, we basically have 2 dual lands with a Wedgesweep Heath here, and Shelduck Isle does help us play big splashy things. So I'm still on the play blue plan, but if we have enough things to go mono green, I wouldn't mind going mono green either. I will just take a, let's see, Maelstrom Pulse here for a sideboard option to deal with something pesky since I have a Blooming Marsh, rather than a Whirler Rogue, which is just a decent value creature at this point. We don't even know if we're going to play blue, so I'd rather take a potential splash card than a card that we might not even play. Okay, so here we have a Dark Ritual down there. Yep. So here I think the pick is between Opposition, Primal Command, and Lotus Cobra maybe. Yeah, that seems like the picks here. Opposition is basically the card that will help lock down most of our games if we can get it out, because we have a lot of small creatures and it is one of the main reasons to stay in blue at this point. Lotus Cobra will help us ramp into something really big, but all things considered, the biggest top end of our curve right now is 7. We do have a decent amount of ramp already, so, and there's a good chance the Lotus Cobra comes back around, considering all the green things that we're wheeling up until now. So I'm going to take the Opposition and hope that either Primal Command or Lotus Cobra comes back around. So let's see. So here we have a pick between Devoted Druid, Frost Titan, Verdus, Gearhulk, all of, and even Ancestral Visions actually. I think all of these are valid picks. It's pretty hard to decide at this point. We have a decent amount of like finishers. So Frost Titan and Verdus, Gearhulk aren't amazing for us right now. They don't actually end the game right away either, so there's more reason to pass them up at this point. So I think the pick is between Ancestral Visions and Devoted Druid. Considering we have Compulsive Research and Careful Consideration, I think taking another ramp spell is fine here, and it being a creature again to sacrifice the natural order is good too, so I like that. And it actually works decently well with Opposition, the fact that you can untap it once more with its second ability to tap it again to Opposition, which is pretty good. What I'd like to see here too is something to go along with Opposition, to have sort of a combo, something like a token generator, something that generates Eldrazi spawns, for example, would be nice. So here we have another free pickup for a splash in Volcanic Island if we want to splash something red, but we don't actually have anything red to play at the moment. We could play Pelucranos, which is a decent finisher. Nature's Lore, which is more ramp. We're getting a little bit crazy on the ramp at this point. Or Charlotte's Agent, which is just a good value card overall. Mindstone, more ramp again, Dungeon Geist, so good decent creature, but double blue hard to cast at this point. I think I'm leaning towards Shardless Agent because it's a creature that essentially could ramp us into, could be a ramp spell as well with the Cascade, considering most of the things that it cascades into are ramp spells. So I think Shardless Agent is a slightly better pick than either Mindstone or Nature's Lore. Pelucranos is just a big dumb beater at this point, and it's a good chance that it tables anyways. So I'm going to take the Shardless Agent, but I kind of feel bad about passing the Volcanic Island, especially if something good red comes along, but we'll see, I guess. So here, no green cards to pick up from. We could take a Sulphur Falls to go into a red splash again, but we still, again, don't have any red card to splash. We could splash a Hazoret, that being said, but I don't think it's that necessary. Otherwise, we have a Seagate Oracle, which is fine, but I guess if we're playing blue cards, they either need to draw us cards or be a good reason to be in blue, like Opposition or Upheaval. So I'll take the Seagate Oracle, but I'm not thrilled with this pick. I'm probably not going to play it. I'm just going to chip it to the sideboard right away and see what else we get. Show and Tell, Jiraga Tree Speaker, Thirst for Knowledge comes up for this pack. I like all of these cards, except we don't have too many things to play with Show and Tell. If we had one or two big Boom Booms, I'd play Show and Tell. So that being said, it's between Thirst for Knowledge and Jiraga Tree Speaker. Thirst for Knowledge is just a slightly better or arguably worse compulsive research due to it being instant speed. And we only have 2 artifacts for it, so it's not that great either. I think the Jiraga Tree Speaker is the pick here. It's basically a Soul Ring for green decks, so why not? So we have a decent amount of ramp, and now we're looking to finish things off. I'm not sure if Genesis Wave is the way we want to finish things off, because it could backfire on us a couple of times depending on what we get. But considering most cards in our decks are permanents, we have, let's see, we have a Farseek, we have Beast Within 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 non-permanents in our deck. Yeah, Genesis Wave could miss, but it's unlikely that it would miss by a lot. I don't think that's what we want to ramp into. I'll take off Kitchen Finks for the sideboard, just because I don't like losing to red decks, even though I like playing the red decks myself. But it's being the player who plays the red decks knows how it feels to have Kitchen Finks on the opposite side, so that's when you want to pick him up. In this pack, there's nothing blue to pick from. There's basically just an Absence Pilgrim, which is another ramp spell for us. I think we're getting a little too heavy on the ramps, but I'll probably take this over something that's in the 2-drop slot we can cut. So yeah, Fire and Ice is a decent option. We do have the potential red splash, but even at this moment I don't even know if we're playing blue yet for 100%, so just stick to green for the moment. Okay, now here we have a plan. We have Garruk Wildspeaker or Wickerbow Elder for the sideboard, but considering we have enough artifact and enchantment hate, I don't think we need Wickerbow Elder. I like Garruk. Garruk's a fine way to ramp into the big things real quick, and it is a finisher by himself, so especially with all these little creatures, so I don't mind taking Garruk here. Otherwise, yeah, there's nothing really to note here. Locust God would have been a fine red splash, but I think the boats sailed there, so. Okay, so the Primal Command came back around. I could go greedy and go for Bloodbraid Elf too if I want to splash red for that, but I doubt it. Serendipity okay, but again, we don't even know if we want to stay in blue, so I'll just take the Primal Command. It might get sideboarded, especially in for the red decks. Speaking of red, here's the Goblin Guide that no one's taking because no one was in red. So the Ancestral Vision came back around, so it's interesting that it seems no one's playing the blue control deck either, so I don't really know what's going on in this draft. So, well, I'll take that and put that in the sideboard then. Let's see here. Now we have a pick between Nature's Lore and Abrupt Decay Splash. I have Maelstrom Pulse in the sideboard to splash to deal with problematic permanents. I have Beast Within already, so I don't think I need Abrupt Decay as well. Nature's Lore is probably slightly better than Farseek. They're basically the same, except Farseek can get blue, whereas Nature's Lore can only get green, but they both get Tropical Island, which is fine. So I'll just take, I don't know, whatever here. Hazoret's fine, and I'll take a land. Repeal and Genesis Wave both came back here, so Repeal is a good way to deal with permanents in general, but again, I don't know if I'm going to be in blue at all. Still, I'm going to take the Genesis Wave just in case, and we'll see where we end up. So, on to deck building, let's see what we got to work with here. So, first of all, I'll separate my creatures and spells. Let's see here. And group creatures separately. Alright, so let's see what we got. So we got a lot of ramp spells, and we got an okay top end. I wish we had a few more boom booms, but I guess our game plan is to ramp into Rampaging Bailiff, Mere Battlesphere, and basically probably win through beating down with small creatures and opposition maybe. So I think that our game plan is going to be opposition based and Planeswalker based with Garruk and Nissa. So let's see here. I think that we don't need natural order then, because we don't have anything big and flashy to get like Progenitus or something. So we can get rid of that. Genesis Wave is okay because we have a lot of small things that we can cast a small Genesis Wave and get a decent amount of value for it. But it might be something worth cutting here. Let's see here. I don't think we need both Acidic Slime and Reclamation Sage in the main. So I think I'll take the Reclamation Sage out for now and bring it in if we need it. Acidic Slime slightly better because you can ramp into it and it'll be a land destruction spell, which could be slightly better than just a naturalize effect. Otherwise, we have just a decent amount of blue spells. I'm not sure if I really want Careful Consideration on top of all this because it's double blue. The only double blue spells I really want are Upheaval and Opposition, which you don't really need to cast early. You can cast them late, and that's fine. So I can cut the Careful Consideration because of the mana constraints so that my mana will be slightly better. Then, let's see here. We're at 27 spells still. I'd like to cut down to 24 and play 16 lands with all these ramp spells. That being said, Overgrown Battlement is okay, but we don't have any other walls for it to really ramp off of. It's just a 2-mana ramp spell with a big butt in our deck, which is okay, it's not bad, but I think it's slightly worse than everything else. So that is reasonable for a cut maybe. Yeah, I think so. That seems to be fine. We'll probably board it again in against aggressive strategies and board out something like Rattleclaw Mystics or Devoted Druid or Fellows in that case to sort of make up for the lack of defense. Otherwise, let's see, we're still needed cutting 2 cards. I think that both Farseek and Nature's Lore are fine, but we don't need both of them. So considering we need, let's see, blue slightly more than we need green, maybe Farseek is better than Nature's Lore because Nature's Lore can only get Forest and Tropical Island, whereas Farseek will always get us Island, and I don't think we'll have problems for green. So that should be a consideration, I think. And yeah, I think that being said, we'll cut the Nature's Lore then. We do need to get double blue for opposition and upheaval, otherwise we can operate off of 1 blue. Let's see, I need to cut 1 more card here. I like Primal Commands because it's pretty flexible, it gets us anything we need. I like Beast Within because it deals with most problematic permanents. It's the same with Into the Royal. I think we can't cut any of our spells, so it has to be a creature at this point. So most likely it's going to either be a ramp creature or some kind of beater. And considering we don't have too many win conditions, we have about a handful, and I'm a little hesitant to cut something. Maybe Jadelight Ranger is just too cute. I mean, it's basically just a 3/2 most of the time. It'll get us a land every now and then, but it's mainly just letting our opponent know what's on top of our deck or not. And it's basically just a beater, so I don't think that it's that much better than anything else here. So I think cutting Jade Light Ranger is fine. Okay, I like this. So we'll play with this. I think Sheldock Isle is fine. It'll just substitute as an island that you can't fetch for, and hopefully it'll give us some value later in the game. Because by the time you want to activate it, you should be able to have access to 2 blue mana at that point, like that plus another island. So okay, let's see. Can I fit a Maze of Ith in this deck? I don't think so. We need a lot of green, especially with Rofellos and with all these turn 1 mana elves. So I think, let's see what Magic Online tells us for the lands. 3 islands. Let's see here. I have the Farseek to fetch an island, and Rattleclaw Mystic to produce blue, and 3 blue sources already, so that's 6 blue sources, 7 blue sources for 2 double blue spells. With 10 forests, I think we can go down to 9 basic forests. That way we have, Windswept Heath, Tropical Island, so we have 11 turn 1 green sources. Yeah, that's fine. So I think we're going to go with 4 islands. That way we have access to 8 blue sources in total. So I like that. Let's see what it looks like when we put it all together. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Alright, so I'm going to save and submit. And I'll see you guys back here for round. Alright guys, we're back here for round 1, and it's just to let you guys know, it's been a while since I've been playing and commentating at the same time, so if my play gets a little bit slow, I might stop commentating as much, so just be warned if things get a little quiet. So we'll see what we have here. I won the die roll, so I get to be on the play. And looks like a good hand. We got a turn 1 mana elf into another mana elf and Rofellos. Let's see, turn 2, turn 3 I can play Nissa. That seems good, so we'll keep this. I like how we have all our colors too, and double blue. So I'll start off with Arbor Elf and see where things go. Alright, so we have green black on their side. Oh, I have Shardless Agent on turn 2, but I think Rofellos is better. Rofellos and Elves of Deep Shadow is better because it lets you have more explosive plays the next turn. So if Rofellos lives. So let's see what I can get out in the next turn. See what our opponent has to deal with our board. I really hope they're not playing any sweepers like Toxic Deluge. Oh, Bitter Blossom, good sign for us. I like that. We can beat that. Alright. So, let's see. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana potentially. I can play Farseek and then play Nissa Worldwaker, which is fine as well. Let's see here. Shardless, I could spin the wheel on Shardless Agent and see what I get off that, but it's probably just going to be another creature. So I think Nissa Worldwaker is better than doing anything else right now. So, let's see here. I'm going to tap Rofellos for 2, tap green, tap this for black, play Nissa Worldwaker. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's just fine to just go all out here. Let's just play Farseek, get another island, and make a 4/4. I think I'll just make an island into a 4/4, which is fine. Since we don't need all these islands, we'd rather have our green in play. And yeah, seems fine. They have a pretty hard board to deal with. Again, still hope they don't have Toxic Deluge. So let's see what they have to deal with our board. Morph. That could be any number of things. Not really sure what to play. I really like Acidic Slime here. So it blows up Bitter Blossom. I want to play that in my second main phase to see how they block. So I think the play here is to animate an island, attack for a bunch, and play... I guess I can play Acidic Slime and Shardless Agent. Let's see here. Let's play... I'm going to tap Rofellos for 2 and then play Shardless Agent and see what I get off that first. Get another mana elf, that's fine. And let's see here. I think it's time to just animate the forest. And then we can go battling. Well, let's see. I can blow up the Bitter Blossom, but then I don't get any damage through this turn. I think it's just fine to attack here and let them keep the Bitter Blossom. I might want to even consider blowing up a land, because it seems like they missed that land drop, but we're pretty far ahead. I don't see a reason why I need to use my Acidic Slime. There might be better targets later on too, so let's get in with our 2 4/4s. Going to yield to Bitter Blossom, so I don't have to keep dealing with this. And we don't have the other plays, so I'm just going to have 6. Well, looks like they got their land. So blowing up a land isn't too bad of a plan still. We could blow up a Hissing Quagmire, which takes them down a creature too. Bitter Blossom is still a potential problematic card, but they might actually die to their own Bitter Blossom. So it actually gives us more reason to keep it around. I think right now their biggest problem is dealing with Nissa. Okay, so they have a Rattleclaw Mystic. They flip that over, get some mana. So they net 1 mana for the trouble. So they have access to 6 mana here. What are they going to play? Solumgar. Dragon Lord Solumgar. Okay, that's fine. That's not a bad play. Let's see here. So what is he going to do with that? So he animates land, and then yeah, I think we're still okay here. So what is it that we actually have to do? We have to get through just enough damage to kill him. So if I swing with 2 4/4s, he's going to block 1 on Solumgar, and he's going to get through for 4. If I swing with everything, his 2 1/1s are going to block my Rofellos and an elf, and I get through for 1 2 3 4, and then 4 4 8, and he dies to Bitter Blossom. Okay, it's a fine plan for me. I can play Acidic Slime post attack. I don't think there's a reason to. Actually, let's see here. If I leave Rofellos back, he takes 4 blocks there, blocks 1 on 2 elves. He takes 2, 4. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7 goes to 2 and doesn't die a Bitter Blossom next turn. I think if I attack with everything, he's dead on board. He blocks 1 on Rofello. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He has to chump block Shardless Agent. He takes 7 going down to 2, and he still dies to his own Bitter Blossom. I think that's fine. So on the swing back, he will have Dragon Lord Solumgar, 2 lands, 8, 11, 13, 14, 15 with the Quagmire if he has some way to animate it. Yeah, I don't think he can kill us, so yeah, no reason to hold back. He can only make a crit. Yeah, so that's fine. I think this is a fine attack here. So this is if he blocks this way, he dies to Bitter Blossom. So he has to block Shardless Agent and go to 2. And I'm pretty sure he sees that now. No, that's the same block. So he takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So he has to have a way to deal with his own Bitter Blossom. And yeah, he saw it, and yeah, that's the game. So Bitter Blossom requires me to bring in Reclamation Sage. Otherwise, I don't really see anything else I want to bring in against this green-black deck. It's basically splashing blue for Solemgar. I have Beast Within for that. I don't think I need to bring in Maelstrom Pulse for that. I can always upheaval each of the Royal at 2. So let's see. What are we taking out for Reclamation Sage? I guess Walking Ballista is not that great against what I saw from his deck. I mean, it's okay, but it's nothing special. So I think that can go. And yeah, everything else is fine. Yeah, it should be if I can get opposition down against this type of deck, I think it's an auto win. They shouldn't be able to do anything once I get it down. So yeah, seems fine. Alright, seems like an okay hand. I would like to have one more ramp spell, but it's okay. I have a bunch of big payoffs, but not enough mana, but we'll see where this goes. We do have a lot of ramp spells in the deck to draw into, so I'll keep on the draw. And I like having double blue and enough green to play my spells, so it's a reasonable keep already. Let's see here. So lead with Forest and Essence Pilgrim. Again, looking for a ramp spell. I wouldn't mind even Mana Gorger Hydra or Compulsive Research would be fine too on turn 3 here. Let's see what else we come up with. Looks like he's blue-black. Maybe he didn't draw enough blue last game. Oh, there's Compulsive Research, so that makes it easy. I'll play Tropical Island into Compulsive Research, and if he has a counterspell for this, well then he's not counterspelling something else. Okay, he does have it. That's fine. So what are we looking for here? We're looking for just threats, I guess. And Ashiok is not cool. We don't have a lot of ways to deal with Ashiok. What do you get from us? Wolfir Silverheart and Dragowos. Tree Speaker. Let's see. I'm going to pull out the rest of these zones here. And get all that out there. Mana Gorger Hydra is pretty good. I think that is the play. I don't have anything else to do. So I'll play that. And I guess I'll attack Ashiok for one. I could see Ashiok getting a little out of hand depending on how this game goes. But we do have a decent amount of plays in our hand. So, and he isn't showing any green mana, so unless he changed his deck to blue-black control, he might be a little bit screwed on what to play if he's holding a bunch of green cards. Playing a Morph, I'm guessing that's going to be the Radiclaw Mystic, also known as his green source. So let's see here. I can do Primal Command to put his Ashiok back and then shuffle it, which is not a bad play. I can play Nissa and animate a land, which is also not a bad play. I don't like the fact that Ashiok keeps ticking up, and at the moment it seems like his only path to victory is that. So let's put Ashiok back and shuffle it, and then attack for 3. I think that's a fine plan. So put target non-creature permanent, and then nope. Put target, and then target player shuffles their graveyard into their library. That's fine. So put that. Target player shuffles his graveyard into his library. Get a counter. And do that. It's my way to deal, my roundabout way of dealing with Ashiok. So let's attack it with Mana Gorger Hydra. So let's see. what is he going to do with his oodles of mana? He basically has access to 2 extra mana this turn, so he has access to 6 mana, if that is a Radical Mystic, that is. So, not much to do. And it looks like his green source being that is pretty much it. So I'm going to play a Acidic Slime here rather than a Nissa, and try and keep him off green, at least for the time being. Or at least double green. And we'll take that out. And keep pushing with my Mana Gorger Hydra. So he's got to have something soon, or else he's going to just die to this Mana Gorger Hydra beating him down. Also note, killing the Blooming Marsh keeps him off double black as well. If that is the Red Claw Mystic, it won't be able to produce black. So, I wonder if he has any good blue threats to play. He's still a bit off from playing... I guess he could play Solemn Guard if he drew it. So he flips Red Claw Mystic, makes 3, 2, then taps 2 more, 5, 6, yep. That could be the play here. Solumgar. Tap 3 more and play Solumgar. This looks like an Expel. This was Solumgar would be played already, with the way he added mana to his pool. Toxic Deluge for 5. Alright, it's fine. With 2 mana floating, what is he going to do? Scavenging Ooze. Alright, decent. I can respect that. He did kill his only green source though, that is worth noting. And it's probably going to be pretty hard for him to deal with Nissa, now that I drew my land on turn 5. So I'm actually going to go Nissa. And then, let's see, do I want to untap 4, play Llanowar Elves? I think that's better than just making a creature. Actually, maybe just making a creature is better. He attacks for... well, let's see. If I untap, play Llanowar Elf, I can block the Scavenging Ooze so that Nissa doesn't just die right away. So I think that's fine. Well, if he has a way to kill Llanowar Elves, then I lose Nissa anyway. So I might as well just get a 4/4 out of it. I guess that being said, he didn't have any removal up until now, up until the Toxic Deluge, so there's a good chance that he doesn't have it, and he has to top deck into it. So I think playing the Llanowar Elves is fine here. I might not even block with it, depending on how he plays, if my plan is to get out Mirror Battlesphere. And he's still tied on double black mana and green mana, so he doesn't have a lot of good plays at the moment. If he's attacking Nissa for 3, I think I'll just let it through, because she won't die. Okay. Okay, so Rampaging Baloth will come down the turn that I have a land. So, that being said, right now I'll tap 4, untap 4, and then tap 3 more for a Mirror Battlesphere. This should be the game if I get to another turn. Now he gets an Overgrown Tomb to get access to green mana. If he has a Solumgar, then we're back in the game. Well, that was Solumgar mana, so I'm not sure. Vraska, like, okay, that's fine. So I guess he's gonna blow up my Mirror Battlesphere. Yep. So let's see here. I can get in for 4, put him down to 3. If I animate a land, he is dead. Oh yeah, he's dead now that I have an Into the Royal. So yeah, let's just first let's cast Into the Royal with Kicker. And he should be dead on board to my lands. And I'll save the land for whatever reason, because if I have to play Rampaging Bailoff, it'll be better later. That. And he concedes. Alright, good game 1. See you guys back here for round. Alright, and we're back for round 2. So let's see what we got this time. On the play, decent amount of ramp into Nissa. Good start. I have access to blue and potentially double blue later for upheaval. I like it. Let's keep it. So do we start off with Arbor Elf or Avacyn's Pilgrim? Arbor Elf noted that if you get Tropical Island, you can also get access to double blue there too. So I will lead with Avacyn's Pilgrim so that I'll save my Arbor Elf for later. So if they kill an elf, it won't be an important one. So let's start with Forest. Oops, I said that and I played Arbor Elf anyways for some reason. But okay, well, I hope Arbor Elf doesn't get killed then. I'm choosing also not to fetch on turn 1 to increase the amount of lands I can get, but that being said, actually one of the good reasons to play the Arbor Elf on turn 1 was to have access to triple green on turn 2 to play out something like Rofellos and another elf. So I'm going to play Rofellos here, and then untap a Forest, play an Avacyn's Pilgrim, and next turn I can have access to Nissa and potentially Devoted Druid as well, I believe. Yeah. Ooh, we gotta do all the things. Let's see here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 mana. Play Garruk, have 2 mana. Untap 2 lands, have 4 mana. Play. Yeah, I can't do it that well. Let's see. So if I play Nissa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. Okay, well, let's tap our mana. And let's do that. Alright, so I think we just play Nissa first. And then, I mean, I guess there was no reason to I think we tapped one too many creatures, but I guess that's okay. I guess we'll untap 2 lands here. And play Devoted Druid, I suppose. Which is fine. So, yeah, I like this plan. So then we can get Garruk, untap, upheaval, sorry, not upheaval, overrun with a bunch of creatures on board next turn, so I like that. Muldrifter evoked, so he's digging for something. Hopefully he doesn't find some sort of Pyroclasm effect for our creatures. I doubt that his style of deck would be playing a Pyroclasm effect though, but, you know, it's a Legacy cube, so, you know, anything's possible. Okay, so we have, I guess we'll just play the land here. Guess we'll play tap Devoted Druid to play Garruk, and have Garruk untap 2 lands, and animate Forest, and attack. So this will be a pretty easy game if I just get to overrun next turn. I guess it'll come down to what they have on turn 4. Also, considering that they played Muldrifter evoked last turn when they had access to 3 mana with Birds of Paradise on turn 1, leads me to believe that they drew Muldrifter there, so, oh, well, they have access to, well, all 5 colors actually. So this could be anything coming from them. What do you got? Well, I'm just going to have 6 here because I have nothing to do. So, actually, I guess I shouldn't have 6. because I can untap my Devoted Druid for whatever reason. What's going on here? On his end, he's tanking. I don't think he has a way to deal with Garruk unless it's red direct damage. Yep. What does he got? Black removal spell for a Planeswalker. What does he got? Primal Command. Alright, it's sort of the same play that we did before. Gain 7 life and put that on top. Alright, that's fine. So basically, it gives him a bit of time to draw another out. That's fine. So basically, we're doing the same play. Let's tap that, I guess tap these two to play Garruk, untap 2, and animate land, and then swing for 11. So basically still hoping that they don't have a sweeper on this turn. Still should be dead to this same board that they had last turn, so I'm in a pretty bad position if they could deal with both my Planeswalkers and all my creatures. It's pretty tough to do with even at most 6 mana this turn. Yeah, and I think that he had enough, so let's go to the next game. 4 to 5 color deck. I don't really know what could be out of there. It could be anything really. I didn't see anything other than really Primal Command, Muldrifter, and Birds of Paradise. So don't think I need to bring in like anything like Maelstrom Pulse or anything like that. So definitely no counter spells from his deck. So getting to the late game with Genesis Wave might be an option. Is it better than, say, Walking Ballista? I'm not sure. Walking Ballista can deal with the Birds of Paradise or some pesky small creatures. I think we just should just resubmit it and see where we go from there. Alright, so looks like he was thinking about how to sideboard. He's on the play, or at least he has the option to. And what does he choose? Chooses to play. So this looks like a decent hand. Jiraga Tree Speaker. If I get to level her up, I get to play Rofellos the next turn. Seems pretty good. Keep. Ooh, late game upheaval. I like it. So let's get out this Soul Ring and see if our opponent has an answer to it. If my opponent plays a second land and says go, I think I still level up my Tree Speaker and go for it anyways. I mean, yeah, he could blow me out with a removal spell, but I think the risk reward is reasonable enough to just go for it on turn 2. There are very, very few reads or very, very few situations where it's incorrect to level it up, or it's better to not level it up rather. And it's usually because you have something else better to do on turn 2, which is very, very rough. And he plays the Lotus Cobra, which gives me free reign to play my... Well, actually, let's see. Is Farseek better than Rofellos? Well, Farseek will get me a land tapped, which is like playing Rofellos coming to play tapped. But if I top deck a forest, the payoff is better. So basically, Farseek is slightly worse than Rofellos in the sense that I can top deck a forest. And that's about it. So I'm going to level up Tree Speaker and then head to green, play Rofellos, and hopefully get some more mana. So if we get another land, we could get, if we get another green source or another forest next turn, we have access to 2, 4, 7 mana on turn 3. But with a Lotus Cobra, he could be doing a lot of shenanigans on his side too. Definitely think keeping in Walking Post is good for this matchup, considering we saw now Lotus Cobra and Bird's Paradise. So if we have to do any sideboarding, it's definitely something that's not coming out. Siege Gang Commander on turn 3 is pretty rough for us, not gonna lie. Alright, take 2 here. Alright, so we do have our green source. Now what we could do here is, let's see. We have access to 7 mana. We can play Compulsive Research, Farseek into a 4-drop. Compulsive Research into a 4-drop. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. I can Upheaval next turn, which is slightly better for us. I think playing Acidic Slime and Farseek is better here to kill his red source, so that there's a chance that he doesn't activate a Siege Gang Commander to kill one of my creatures. So let's do that. And that for 2. Play Acidic Slime, killing Taiga. And 2 green to play Farseek to get an island. So this way, next turn, if things go go badly, we can always just Upheaval. So we'll see what happens here. If he has a land, he pretty much has to kill one of our creatures. Okay, he's gonna Nature Lore for a forest, tap the forest, and get a red off Lotus Cobra and kill something. I guess that's gonna be his play this turn. I guess he's gonna kill. If he kills Acidic Slime, is really good. Oh, he goes for blue. That's great. I like that. Blue into Careful Study. I guess we'll have his graveyard open, see what he has. So on my next turn, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I can Upheaval floating 2, play a land, have 3, and basically replay my hand. Well, basically replay my Rofellows and my Tree Speaker, and he's back to 1 land. So I think, I'm not sure if that's actually that good in this position. I don't think it's bad, but it doesn't really, I'm not really behind, but I'm not really ahead either. So it's a fine play, it's just not necessary here. If he kills my mana creature here, that will hinder things obviously, so we'll see what happens here. If he kills my Acidic Slime and attacks, it's really good for us. And he kills Rofellows. Okay, smart play. So that effectively takes 2 land off the table, so I can Upheaval and replay a land, but again, I'm not in a great position right now. Well, he's basically going to start picking off all my creatures, so I guess I can turn him back to turn 1 with me being up a turn again. So I think this is fine, considering I have all these ramp spells and a Compulsive Research. So, and I get to get my Acidic Slime back anyways. So I think that's fine. So let's see. If I attacked with Acidic Slime, would he block with 2 goblins? He might want to be saving the goblins to pick off some creatures. I don't think he'd block with the Siege Gang Commander. If he blocks a Lotus Cobra, I'm fine with that. So I think it's fine to attack here first. Otherwise, it's just a free attack for 2. So I'm just going to tap for 6. Upheaval. I'm going to play Forest and play Tree Speaker. and we're back to square one. But I'm up a bunch of lands and he's on turn 1, effectively. Or rather, I'm up a bunch of mana. Oh, and he has to discard, so I do get some card advantage out of that. So let's see what he does here. He doesn't have a whole lot of lands. He definitely wants to keep his Siege Gang commander, so it's probably going to be tough for him to discard. So we're just drawing a bunch of lands here. I kind of wish I started with Arbor Elf last turn to get to get a turn 3 play here, but I thought that the Jiraga War Tree Speaker would be better to ramp into something better next turn, like Acidic Slime. But okay, well, all things considered, I guess, yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing. Just level up. And I guess we'll just make use of all our mana. Playing Rattleclaw Mystic is better than playing Arbor Elf, so I'll just do that. So next turn I have access to 5-6 mana. So I can play an Acidic Slime and Arbor Elf, or I can play a Mana Gorger Hydra and a Compulsive Research. I think playing Acidic Slime, taking out his red source, is slightly more important right now, so I'll just keep him off lands. So this way he would need to have a red source on top of Lotus Cobra's ability to play Siege Gang Commander, so taking out his red sources are very important. So next turn, I'll have a lot of mana to do, hopefully, a lot of things. The first one being Mana Gorger Hydra. And I have him on Lotus Cobra plus a land, so maximum 3, maybe 4 mana with a fetch land. Alright, so he's on 3 mana this turn. What can he do? He's going to cultivate, get some mana. He gets to have an extra mana of his choice as a result, so if he has this Mana Elf, it'd be a good chance to play it for free. Or the revealed cards. He didn't get a mountain, so Siege Gang Commander is kind of stranded at the moment. He has a mountain in hand. Sorry, he has a swamp in hand. And no play. So we're looking good. Looking good. Alright, Shelduck Isle, I like that. Let's lead with Mana Gorger Hydra. I guess lead like this. Need more green mana open. I'd like to keep double blue. Actually, we'll be playing a blue land. Let's see here. Well, we have Rattleclaw Mystic, it doesn't matter. Just tap the forest. Play Mana Gorger Hydra. Then let's untap that. And let's play Compulsive Research. Yield to that. And let's discard land. Don't need more islands at this point. And I guess we'll play Shelduck Isle. We're getting close to that mark. And we whiffed. All lands on top, but they're all going to the bottom, so it doesn't matter. And that was pretty sad. I guess we'll play a Llanowar Elf. And attack with Acidic Slime. That was kind of depressing. All that, and we just got a bunch of lands. There was a lot of lands on top of our deck. If he wants to trade with Lotus Corpa again, here in the base, a lot of mana, so there's no reason not to attack there. I'd feel really silly if he came back into this game with a Toxic Deluge, but what are you going to do? Alright, well now he has his red source for Siege Gang Commander, but Siege Gang Commander might be too late if my Mana Gorger Hydra gets out of hand. He's playing Fertile Ground, okay. He's got access to 3 mana still. Maelstrom Pulse on the Hydra, okay. Seems fine. Alrighty, so now we have a good good thing that we kept the Ballista in our deck. So let's see, how much mana do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, alright. So we'll make a 5/5. And cast. Kill Lotus Cobra and get in for 2. So now we can deal with Siege Gang Commander when he plays it. So we're in a pretty good position still. Alrighty. I think he's forced to play that. There's not much else to do, so now he has no revealed cards. So on our turn, let's see what we can do here. So I can leave 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't leave up 2. I'm going to leave up 2 activations. So let's see. I'll just pump this first. Actually, let's see. If I play Garruk Wildspeaker on tap 2, it's up 2 lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Leave those 2 up. Take it in for that. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just get Garruk Wildspeaker in play. Untap 2. Sure. Tap 4. Pump. And then tap 2, tap 1, tap, pump, then remove. Kill Siege Gang Commander, kill a Goblin, kill a Goblin, kill a Goblin. Still got the Walking Ballista around. I wonder if it was better just to leave him with some goblins and then just attack with Acidic Slime, but I think that play was fine to get in slightly more damage. And he conceded because, yeah, this board is pretty hard for him to deal with. Alrighty, so on to the last round. Alright, we're back here for the last round, and hopefully we can pull out a 3-0. Let's see what we come up against. I think we should be reasonable against most matchups except for some kind of stupid combo deck that's faster than us. But yeah, actually mono red might be a bad matchup for us if they have a lot of removal in their early hands and with pressure to back it up. So considering he won the die roll and probably going to be on the play, hoping it's not mono red. Control decks with sweepers might also be a bad matchup for us too, depending on what our starting is like. If we can get out fast enough where they don't have enough time to set up their defenses, it should still be okay. But definitely not favorable against a deck with Wrath of God, Supreme Verdict, or even Anger of the Gods. Probably rough for us too. My opponent seems to be tanking hard. Oh, they're back. Seems like an okay hand. Got a turn 1 elf into a turn 3 Shardless Agent, and hopefully more ramp after that. Seems good. I'll keep. Again, hopefully no mono red to kill my Arbor Elf. Oh, another green deck. I like that. Lots of green decks these days. That's a good thing about these pods. You're not playing against the same people in your pod necessarily in these leagues, rather. Even though I drafted earlier, and the people who are in that draft might actually be playing right now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'll be paired up against them. So I think here we get a forest so that my Farseek can get a tropical island if need be. That way we have more access to green mana. I think my opponent is either multi-queuing or has really slow internet from their reaction speed. That or watching TV or something like that. Basically, they're just rude if they're multitasking and playing Magic. Let's be honest. Alright, after a couple of minutes, my opponent is finally back, so I get my basic forest. Play an Arbor Elf and pass the turn. Let's see what they got for me. Green, green. Oh, Rofellos, we're playing a semi-mirror match. Alright, so this could be either really good or really bad for us. So I'm going to go for... I could Into the Royal that, but doesn't really get me much value. I could Farseek and Elves of Deep Shadow here. I could get really lucky with Shardless Agent and get my own Rofellos, so there's that. I think that's the play. At worst, it's going to be another ramp spell, I feel, so... Don't think there's anything much else it could be. So let's see what we cascade into. And Radiclaw Mystic is fine. It's good value there. So let's do that. So we have access to 4 mana, potentially 5 to play Nissa, which would be good. I like that. And he's playing a Carnage Titan. That is no bueno. Alright. Oh, I like Mirror Battlesphere. That is a way to deal with Carnage Titan. So let's see here. How do we do this? So we have access to 4 mana. We can play... Can't really play much. I guess we have to Into the Royal at some point too. So I think we have to either play Farseek and or the Elves of Deep Shadow. And if we play one of them, we can also play Into the Royal on his Rofellos to set him back a turn, because we need to set up Mirror Battlesphere next turn, which is sort of the hardest part of this. I'm not sure how many more scary things he can play on his end. What can we do here? I could also upkeep Beast within his Rofellos, is another plan. I want to kick Into the Royal, so if possible I'd like to keep that for later. But yeah, this is tough. This is really tough actually. So I'll have, if I play Farseek and Elves of Deep Shadow, it gives me the most outs to actually get a 7th land to play Mirror Battlesphere next turn. Then we just have to pray they don't have any more big boom booms on their next turn and let the fellow stay around for another turn, which is scary. Otherwise, if we get to untap with at least 6 mana next turn, then we can play Nissa into the Royal, or Beast Within, or something like that. So I think that's fine. So let's do that. So I'm just going to go Farseek for Tropical Island, and then Elves of Deep Shadow. Yeah, I think that has to be that's the only plan we have. Take a bunch of damage from the Carnage Tyrant, hope they don't have anything better. So another 6 play. Kitchen Finks is fine. I can accept that. Alright. So we're out of the woods. We get to play a Mirror Battlesphere this turn. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Mirror Battlesphere. Okay. What is this? Beast Within? Please, no Beast Within. Yes, Beast Within. Alright, fine. We still get our mirrors. So we traded, he downgraded a 4-7 into a 3-3. So we could still kill Carnage Tyrant. It's just not as effective as it was before. Alright, Whisperwood Elemental is annoying, but, you know, what are you going to do? If he doesn't attack into this board, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with building up my board if he's playing the long and slow game. Okay. Good plan. I like it. I like it. So we get to play a Nissa relatively for free. Like, it's pretty safe here. I think we wanna... Yeah, we wanna tap like this. Let's see here. Just tap like this. Play Nissa, make a 4-4. Yeah. If we're gonna play the long game, then I guess if I get to Nissa Ultimate, we're gonna win. Pretty sure. Yeah. So that's the plan for the time being. We have Into the Royal and Beast Within backup in case anything happens. At the end of his main phase, I'm going to say stop now. If he doesn't do anything, I'm going to Beast Within his Whisperwood Elemental. Jade Light Ranger is fine. Let's see what he reveals. Creature. Probably doesn't want that. Unless he just wants to grow. Yeah, he puts that to the bottom, gets a land, first troubles. It's fine. Plays the land. It's got 5 mana. What do you got? I'm actually pretty worried in case he has Craterhoof Behemoth. He puts that on top and he searches for a card. Search your life. So what I could do here, now it says put target permanent. The only target, I believe, is Nissa. If I bounce my own Nissa, he doesn't get to search. So I think that's fine. Let me just double check that. So search your library for a creature card. Yeah, it doesn't target. The only target is my Nissa. If I tap the 4-4 rather than taking a damage, he still can't really get in with that. Well, okay, I think there's no reason to take take a bunch of damage rather than just take 1. So I will bounce my own Nissa, so he doesn't get to search for something good. And Primal Command is countered due to no legal targets. So, I think we're still in a comfortable position here. He gets to have more 2/2s, 2 more morphs with his Whisperwood, but we still have a backup plan with his beast, with a Beast Within, so that's okay. Draw more land is okay for Nissa, and I guess, I mean, let's see here. Just want to untap that. I keep typing that wrong. Which is the new? That's the new one. I did that incorrectly, but okay, well, whatever. I didn't really want to animate my tropical island, but I guess I will. And back to square one, I guess. So we're back in the same position again here. I basically wasted Into the Royal to counter his Primal Command, but he basically took a counter off my Nissa and had me replay it. That's fine. I still have the end of turn Beast Within on his Whisperwood, and if the board keeps building up like this, I think we are favored to win. Looks like he's not doing anything, so it's time to kill Whisperwood Elemental. And let's do that. Okay, so I think I'll just animate a land. I'll keep the land hand because we have Rampaging Baloth in our deck, so if the game keeps progressing like this, we are favored to win again. So again, still just have to dodge a Craterhoof Behemoth, but we should be okay so far. There's a lot of creatures on the board. I don't want to do the math. I just want to ultimate with Nissa. Mere Battlesphere, okay. Well, now we have a game. Alright. There's a lot of permanents on the board. At some point, Magic Online is going to make a third row for each of us. I'm not sure why they haven't already, but let's see here. So, yeah, nothing to do here. Compulsive Research is great. I like that a lot. Time to Compulsive. Rampaging Baloth, Sig Slime, let's discard a land. And let's discard Forest. Sig Slime really doesn't do anything, but, you know, well. Let's see here. Guess we'll play Shelldock Isle first. I could have played Rampaging Baloth, played another creature, but I think our plan is just to make more 4/4s for right now and keep everything up. I guess we'll play Wolfhair Silverheart. That'd be a good surprise mid-combat if need be. And so put the Druid, put the lands at the bottom. And unfortunately it's only untaps forests, so that doesn't work there. So while we do that, I'll go ahead and untap this forest and make it a creature. And yeah, looks okay to me so far. Is there a reason to play an Acidic Slime? I don't think so. Tapping 5 creatures to play 1 creature doesn't seem very worthwhile right now. Pelucranos is really good for him right now, actually. Does this deal with Planeswalkers, though? Deals X damage and number of creatures you opponent control, so he can... Later he'll have access to 8 mana. So this is always an odd number. So at 7, he can deal 3. Kill off a few things. That's fine. If he gets 5 forests, then he can deal 4? I believe, yeah. Alright, so I think we're still good here. Does Mere Battlesphere deal to players? Oh, and it can kill Planeswalker. So he could kill my Nissa and sacrifice his Battlesphere here. So we'll see what he does. So let's see here. Actually, this ability only does X, it's equal to the number of mirrors he taps, so it only does 4, so he can't actually kill my Nissa. So that being said, let's tap 4. And how do we do this? Guess we can do it like this. Oops, sorry about that. Let me see here. I think the best play, let's do it like this. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Play Rampaging Baloth. Play Forest. Always yes, always yield. And I guess I could play the A6 Slam just to kill the Battlesphere right now then. It will take that option off the table, and I'll just win with Nissa then. So, let's float 4. Untap 4 forests. Actually, don't select that one. Select all my creature lands. And then tap 1, play a 6 slime, kill the Battlesphere, and we should win next turn if nothing crazy happens. Also, we have a surprise Wolfear Silverheart if he chooses to pump up his Polychronos. So now he can deal 4 amongst X number of creatures. Ulamog. Ulamog is scary. So he needed to draw a forest there to play Ulamog. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anything else we could have done there, but let's see. So what we're going to do here is tap blue, tap that, play Wolfear Silverheart. So Wolfear comes into play. So we have a bunch of 4/4s and make something else bigger. I think, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures. This is tough because we lose to 1 swing from Ulamog. Well, okay. Who do we soulbound with? I think we just soulbound with a 1/1. Doesn't really matter. Just to get more damage spread across. So I think that's fine. Oh wow, okay. So I have a Ballista that can take out a few creatures, I guess, here. Okay, so what can we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have access to 3, 4, 5, 6 mana creature manas. 3 can kill 3 blockers, but I take out 3 creatures of basically it's the same thing. But those creatures wouldn't be blocking bigger creatures. I guess. Let's see here. 2, 3. I have access to up to 10 mana, making take care of 5/1/1s. Giving him 1, but then I still don't have enough damage to get through, I think. 1, 2. There's 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blockers. These will be tapped. That'll be tapped. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a pretty bad time for me. I think we lose here to Ulamog, so I think we just play this quickly, so that we... I mean, I don't think it changes much here. So, yeah, I think it doesn't really change anything. Might as well play that. And kill, I guess, that. And then kill a bunch of mirrors. Is this 20 cards? Yeah, 20 cards. We die right away. So, I guess let's go for the swing. And maybe he screws up his math. I don't know. So basically at this point, I think we're losing here. I don't think we're going to get through for 22 damage if he just blocks correctly. And should that be the case, we just go to the next game. Just save our time. The top deck, either the top deck Ulamog or top deck Forest was pretty good there at the end, but you know, what are you going to do? It was a pretty close game, considering all things considered that he started out with turn 2 Rofellos, which was pretty much untested the whole time. It was pretty close, pretty tight. Yeah, I think if he blocks like this, we lose. Yeah, he's only taking 9 damage here. Most of our stuff is dying. He's gaining some life. Yeah, I think that's it. As soon as he confirms blocks, that's the game. Okay, so let's see. The question is, do we need blue? I think blue does give us the advantage in this matchup, especially with upheaval, so I think we keep it like this. The question is, do we need anything else? Genesis Wave, it might be good against it if we're getting into that stage of the game. Natural Order doesn't really give us anything other than Rampaging Baloth, maybe? I don't really like that. Overgrown Battlement, not really needed. More ramps, not really needed. I'm guessing Natural Order or Genesis Wave, basically, over something that's not so good. Claw, Mystic, Farseek, all these cards are good. Beast Within's fine. Everything's fine here. Wolfir Silverheart is okay, but considering that he has a lot of ground pounders, I don't really see a reason for it. Maybe we can sideboard that out, but we'll have less finishers and less things to get with Natural Order and Genesis Wave. I think that if we're going to play one of these, having Natural Order to get out a really early Rampaging Baloth could help us win. Like if we get out a turn 3 Rampaging Baloth and a bunch of lands, there's not much that can really stop that. So maybe that's the plan. Wolfir Silverheart just doesn't seem that good. So I think, yeah, maybe Natural Order over that. Genesis Wave, if we really get to that point in the game, I think it's just a race, and I think that if we get to that point in the game, then we're going to win anyways, considering we have all these good blue options too. So, yeah, let's just sub it like that. On the play, I really want to keep an opposition hand, but it has nothing else in it, so I have to mulligan. This hand's fine. I'll keep this. Turn 2 Mana Gorger Hydra could win this game very easily. I'll keep the island. Thank you very much. With the island. So I have a good pressure situation and a good reset button. So I like where we're at. Okay. And considering we're playing a mirror match, they have to play out a lot of their hand. So I'm pretty happy playing a Mana Gorger Hydra on turn 2. I feel like this is going to get us a lot of damage in. Like, the only thing that could really stop it is Beast Within on this turn, maybe. Otherwise, we're getting decent value, even if you Beast Within later in the game. Sylvan Advocate's fine. So you have 3 power. 4. I guess we can't swing into that right now, so I'll just play Morph. I think maybe his game plan is to just stick a bunch of stuff on the board. And that way he deals with Mana Gorger Hydra. Yep, Master of the Wild Hunt is fine. So let's see here. I can swing in for 4, and he trades off with with Master. Is that fine for me? I'm not in a great position because I don't really have anything else. He makes a wolf next turn, and then he can tap it and tap all and tap to kill something. So let's see. This morphs for 2. I mean, I guess I could upheaval now. Let's see, I have 1, 2, I have 6 mana, replay the elf right away. And I'm sort of back in the same position that I was before. That doesn't really change anything. I guess... I mean, we're ahead on mana, so there's no reason for me not to attack, I guess. Sure, if he does that, I'm going to kill the Master. So now I can hold off on this upheaval until I get more value out of him. So he can just play out his hand. Sure, that's fine. So what happens to face down cards? I guess they go back to his hand then. That's not that great for me if it's value. Let's see here. So I can reset the board. Nothing really happens. Let's see here. So I have access to 7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can play a land for my turn. So I can upheaval floating 1, play 2, and replay the Rattleclaw Mystics, which is okay, I guess. And then play Arbor Elf. I guess that's fine. I'm slightly behind here, but I don't know really what else to do because I'm just drawing lands. Yeah, I really wish I had something more to ramp into. I guess I'll wait a turn and take some damage and then reset the board so that I can play both my mana creatures and hopefully set up for something better the turn after. So I guess we'll wait. We had a pretty good opening hand, but unfortunately we just drew all air, turn after turn after turn. I'd like to just see a big threat or some draw spells off the top would be nice, but I think next turn we have to upheaval. If he plays anything worth a damn. Yeah, Scavenging Ooze is fine. Gets in for 6, I'm assuming. Or 8, nope, doesn't get in for anything. Alright, I like that. Alright, more air. Okay, so I think this is the turn that we have to unmorph this. Do that. Untap forest. Tap for green. And upheaval. He can, oops, sorry about that, gain some life, I guess. Not that it really matters. Sure. Then play a forest, play Arbor Elf, play Rattleclaw Mystic. So we're up 4 mana on turn 2, and hopefully we have something to play. And he's got 14 cards in hand. So he basically has to discard 7 cards, well 6 cards. We're kind of at square one. I'm a little bit advantaged on tempo, but I don't have anything in hand. So let's see what we get. I'm assuming he's going to discard a bunch of lands. A Lightning Greaves, wow. Spicy. Alright, that's something. It's better than nothing. So, let's play Charlotte's Agent. Dragon Tree Speaker is good. I'm fine with trading Rattleclaw. Who wants to trade for it? I mean, I guess I should have left the Arbor off, but I don't think he was trading anyways. Oh, he's got a Rofellows. That's bad. Ooh, I've got a Primal Command. That's good. So let's see. First things first. I gotta level this guy, because that costs nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have enough to cast that, but then I can't kill Rofellows. He's gonna play Whisperwood again next turn, or something bigger, which is scary. He could play Carnage Tyrant. What do I search for? I could put Rofellows on top, search for Ballista, which is pretty good here because I can kill most of his board. I can... Getting 7 doesn't do anything, so I think it's put Rofellows on top and search, just see what we have, I guess. So put target non-creature. Oh, it's non-creature permanent. Oh, that's bad. Well, I guess I could put a forest on top. It's fine. There's no reason to gain life, and there's no reason to shuffle his library. So shuffle his graveyard into his library. So search my library. Yeah. So put a forest on top. I think we get Ballista. Is there anything better? I mean, I think Ballista is just safer. We could get Mere Battlesphere, but I think that's just greedy. Yeah, I think we have to get Ballista here. And we're running out of time, so I have to play faster. So I'm just going to F6 through this turn and next turn. First. Whisperwood, sure. Natural order is pretty good. So let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to play the Ballista first, I think. So let's just do that. 3, 4, 5, 2, add 2, untap 1. Running out of time. I need to win this game and the next game. So, yeah, I think we're probably going to lose the time, if anything, right now. Which is mainly due to me commenting. It's been a while, guys, so let's see how we can do. Let's kill that. And let's kill that. And alright, so he's stabilized with a Whisperwood Elemental. He took out his early mana, so hopefully we'll be able to stabilize too. Sylvan Advocate's fine. I like Into the Royal. I'm gonna play. Let's do that. Tap that. Sacrifice that. I'm gonna get me Rampaging Baloth and just play out cards. Yes. And I can't attack through yet, so I guess I'll just wait. If my opponent taps mana for anything, I'm going to bounce his Whisperwood Elemental, then we can start attacking. Ballista is fine, I guess. There's not really much we can do about it. I guess we'll tap that for blue. And we will bounce that guy. Kills that guy. Alright, that's fine. Always yes. Always yield. Let's play that. With that. And I'm just going to put a counter on this. 6. So we have a decent clock going through right now. Rampaging Baloth doing work. Let's play that. Keep attacking. I think we can start attacking with Rampaging Baloth too now, because we'll have at least 4 to 5 counters on Walking Ballista. But we have under 3 minutes to finish this game and win another game. So I doubt we're winning this round, but we'll see. Attacking for 14. It's got to do some blocking. That's fine. What is this? Convoking something? Court of Falling for 4, alright. Lucarnos, okay. Move that. Keep that. I'll put a counter on this. Should be dead next turn. If he's nice, he'll concede. So it looked like his morphed cards were Mystic and Beast Within. I mean, he could have morphed up his Mystic, but that wouldn't have changed anything for him at all. So I think he's dead on board. Unless he's trying to time me out, but he's really only doing his time out at this point. Sure. Just 3 blockers. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I think I kill him with what's on board. So, yeah. Anything gets through and I Walking Ballista him for 5. Sure. And he's just dead on board? Okay, that's fine. So I've got 2 minutes to win this next round. So that being said, I need to play a very offensive-minded game. I don't think Walking Ballista can stay part of that. But then again, what am I bringing in? Like, Kitchen Finks doesn't really help. That doesn't really help. Ramping into something big could help if I'm just going all in on something. I think Wolffish Silverheart has to come back in because it actually enables a very fast plan. So, let's see here. I don't have time to futz around with a lot of things. So basically, let's try and see if I can go mono. Basically, mono green with 3 blue cards. Let's cut those out and bring in Jade Light Ranger or Kitchen Finks. I guess Jade Light Ranger is slightly better. Or I could just bring in Nature's Lore as another ramp spell. I'm thinking, I guess Jade Light Ranger is a better turn 2 play, so let's do that. And I guess I can cut down the number of islands and add a forest. That seems fine. I like that. Alright, so our plan is to win very quickly here. One land, but we have the Mana Gorger Hydra on turn 2 play, so I think this is a hand we have to keep. So let's do that. I think we played Llanowar Elves on turn 1 because we don't have a guaranteed second land. There's no turn 3 play, but neither do we. So I'm going to go for the greedy Rofello's play, and hopefully he doesn't have a Walking Ballista. I guess if he did, he would have played it on turn 2, so maybe, unless he's sandbagging it. Okay, Oracle Modiah is fine. Pelucranos is kind of annoying, but nope, we got up some mana. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 mana. Let's do blue. Let's just get up a bunch of mana, I guess. Let's play this first, and then play this guy. And hope for the best, I guess. We have a minute to win here, so this Mana Gorger Hydra has to go all the way. He's got 8 power on board. I guess you really can't do much about that. So, can kill Rofellos if he wants to. Which he probably should. So let's see. Let's get that. Get that, get that. We got 5 mana, let's play that. Let's play that. Don't think we can win in time, sadly. This is an interesting game, but I don't think we're going to get there unless we somehow miracle this clock. I have a 7/7, but he was able to make a Pelucranos fast enough, sadly. Oh, Walking Bliss on top 2, my god. Yep. Oh, that was pretty good. Kill that, so he has less toughness now. And play that for 2. And we die at the time. Oh well, it was a good one, but unfortunately the commenting got the best of me and couldn't finish out that game. I think we were favored to win there if the Mana Gorger Hydra got a little bit, got going a little bit more, but you know, what are you gonna do? Alright, thanks for watching guys, and good night.